Imagine a world where humanity disappears in a single moment. No warning, no struggle, no destruction, just silence. 1 second, the planet is filled with 8 billion people, rushing to work, talking, building, dreaming. The next second, every human being is gone, as if the Earth exhaled and every one of us vanished into thin air. What would happen to our cities, our technology, our structures, our oceans, the animals that lived under our shadow? Over the next 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to take a deep look into the world we would leave behind. A world that would change faster, more violently, and more beautifully than most of us could ever imagine. These are the top 5 things that would happen if humans suddenly disappeared. Let's begin. Fact 1. The world would go dark and fast. If humans vanished instantly, the first and most dramatic change wouldn't happen in weeks or days. It would happen within hours. All around the globe, thousands of power plants keep our world alive. Nuclear, hydroelectric, natural gas, coal, massive wind farms, giant solar farms, and tightly connected electrical grids. But every one of these systems requires constant human attention. Engineers monitor pressure. Technicians adjust fuel. Workers inspect lines. Computer systems rely on maintenance teams to intervene when things go wrong. With humanity gone, those systems would begin failing almost immediately. Natural gas plants would be the first to collapse. Within just a few hours, pressure would build, sensors would fail, and automatic shutoffs would darken entire cities. Across Europe, Asia, and North America, hydroelectric turbines would keep spinning, but not for long. Debris gathering and intake systems would eventually choke the water flow until the turbines shut down one by one. Solar farms would continue generating electricity, but with no one to clean the panels, dust would quickly reduce their output. Wind farms would spin freely, but would eventually shut off as automated systems failed. But the true symbol of humanity would fall even faster: the lights. By the first night after humans disappeared, most of the Earth would already be dark. A few regions would glow for a little while longer, powered by nuclear facilities running on automated systems. But even those would eventually scram, entering automatic shutdown mode. Imagine looking at the Earth from space. A planet that once glittered with city lights would be replaced by deep shadows and quiet coastlines. The human footprint would vanish from the night sky almost instantly, replaced only by the soft shimmer of starlight. Earth would take its first step back toward natural darkness. Fact 2. Nature would begin reclaiming the planet. Within days of humanity's disappearance, nature would awaken like a force that had been waiting patiently for its chance to breathe again. In every major city, the same story would unfold. In New York, Times Square would go silent. Without air conditioning systems drying the air, moisture would seep into buildings. Underground subway tunnels, engineered to stay dry by pumps that never stop, would flood within 36 to 48 hours. Rats would scramble upward into city streets, now free of human activity. Wild animals, once cautious and rare, would begin exploring abandoned neighborhoods. In Tokyo, vines would crawl across skyscrapers within weeks. In Paris, plants would sprout from cracks between cobblestones. In Hong Kong, monkeys from the hills would flood into the empty streets. In Moscow, foxes and wolves would roam freely in the suburbs. Human beings had reshaped every inch of the Earth, but without us, nature doesn't wait. It expands. It grows. It breaks through steel and concrete like it had been planning its return for centuries. Roads would buckle as tree roots push upward. Parks would expand like living forests. Fields would bloom in places once covered by shopping malls and parking lots. And within months, the world would begin to sound different. Without cars, planes, construction, or machines, Earth would become overwhelmingly quiet. Instead of traffic, you'd hear wind sweeping through empty skyscrapers, birds singing in places they were never heard before, and the soft, constant hum of insects. A planet built for humans would begin shifting back to a planet built for life. Fact 3. Human structures would crumble, faster than you think. We like to believe our buildings, bridges, and monuments are permanent. But without humans maintaining them, even our greatest achievements would quickly fall apart. Let's start with something simple: homes. Most houses would begin to rot within months. Roof shingles would loosen, rainwater would seep in, wood would expand and split, and mold would spread unchecked. Within a few years, most houses in humid climates would collapse completely. But what about skyscrapers? Steel is strong, but it depends on constant protection from the elements. Without regular maintenance, water would infiltrate joints and frames. Rust would spread like a disease. Windows would shatter from storms and temperature changes. Birds would nest inside offices. Winds would whistle through broken glass. Within 50 years, many skyscrapers, including some of the tallest on Earth, would collapse under their own weight. Bridges would fall even faster. Salt, moisture, and temperature swings would attack exposed steel. Concrete would crack and flake. Suspension cables would weaken until the entire structure gave way. Famous bridges, from San Francisco's Golden Gate to London's Tower Bridge, would crumble into the water within decades. Even monuments like the Statue of Liberty or Christ the Redeemer would erode under constant storms and temperature shifts. Human engineering looks invincible today, but nature is patient, relentless, and stronger than anything we've built. Fact 4. Wildlife would flourish, sometimes in terrifying ways. With no humans left to interfere, Earth's ecosystems would explode with life. Within 1 year, marine environments would begin healing. Fish populations would rise. Coral reefs would start recovering from bleaching. Without fishing boats or pollution, oceans would regain a balance unseen for centuries. On land, animals would begin migrating into areas once dominated by humans. Wolves would move into Central Europe. Bison would reclaim the American plains. Elephants might wander across highways in India. Bears would roam freely through mountain towns. Species we pushed to the edge of extinction, rhinos, tigers, pandas, would surge in number as human hunting and habitat destruction ceased instantly. But this rebirth would also come with unexpected consequences. Invasive species would spread uncontrollably. Rats would overrun cities. Wild pigs would destroy farmlands. Certain insects might dominate entire regions. With no humans to manage ecosystems, Earth would become a chaotic, beautiful battlefield of competing species. Over time, though, balance would return. Nature always finds a way. It just needs time. Fact 5. In the long run, almost every trace of humanity would vanish. This is the most sobering truth of all. We imagine that our cities, machines, landmarks, and monuments will last forever. But in the timeline of planet Earth, even our greatest creations are temporary. Within 100 years, forests would cover most cities. Within 300 years, steel structures would collapse into dust. Within 1,000 years, almost every building would be erased from the landscape. Only a handful of stone structures, the pyramids of Egypt, the temples of Angkor, the carvings on Mount Rushmore, would remain standing, and even they would eventually fall. Within 10,000 years, nearly all evidence of human civilization would be buried beneath forests, deserts, ice, and oceans. If an alien civilization visited Earth far in the future, they might find only traces: a few strange stones, fragments of satellites, rusted metal buried beneath layers of soil. The species that once dominated the planet, built cities that touched the sky, and reshaped an entire continents would be reduced to whispers in rock and dust. The Earth would move on without us. It always has. It always will. Conclusion: if humans suddenly disappeared, the Earth wouldn't end. It would reset. The lights would go out. Nature would rise. Structures would crumble. Wildlife would flourish. And our presence, everything we ever built, would slowly fade away. It's a reminder that life on Earth is fragile, temporary, and always changing. A reminder that the planet doesn't belong to us. We're only guests here for a short time. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, And turn on notifications so you never miss out on exciting real stories from Top Facts Story.